2022 Scott Addict Gravel 20 in a size large, weighing in at 20 pounds 3 ounces, and in kilos it's 9.22 kilos. Stay tuned to after video where you're free of buy-send test on those wheels right there. Thank you. The day has finally come, guys. We finally got a Scott Addict Gravel in our store, in our hands. This is the 2022 Scott Addict Gravel 20 in a size large. This bike retails for $4,500. And as you guys just saw, it weighed in right around 20 pounds, which is pretty much spot on with what Scott usually puts on for the website. But my first initial impressions are on this bike. One, the color is amazing. It looks super aggressive. Like the actual aesthetics of the bike looks really, really good. Like the stance of it, the fork, how it's laid out, it looks really good. But the color of the bike is beautiful. This is the Model 20. It's like this purple tint with like a little bit of like a bronze color in there, fade to black. Like the color is gorgeous on this thing. But my second thing is that I've been noticing Scott bikes in general, their road bikes and their gravel. Like this is a large. I ride a large 56 myself in Specialized. I think I would be a medium on this bike. This bike is huge. I'm about 6 foot, and when I stand over this bike, I'm touching on the top tube. Like it's a big bike. So if you guys are interested in one of these bikes, make sure you go to the store and check it out, or talk with someone who knows what they're talking about to get you the right size fit on here. But initial impressions are great. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna tell you about the bike, the specs, everything this bike can do, tire clearance, everything like that, and I'll show you all the features on here as well. But I'm just excited to get one of these things in. I do have this bike in stock in a 56 and also a 54 in the same exact model for $4,500. So if you guys are interested, let me know down below in the comments, send me an email, everything like that. So a couple things about this bike. Right now on here, this is a 700 by 45C tire, and they have more than enough clearance on here. So you can see the front fork. I want to say you could probably go about up to a 47, maybe a 48C tire in here. They don't claim on the website what it is, but I look like you can get a good amount on that front fork. And also for the rear as well, the main spots you want to check are right here and down below here. You could probably go up to a 47 here. I do like how they give you a 45 right off the gate. That's a pretty big tire for gravel, so and a lot of people want to change it out. The tires are tubeless ready. Also with this bike, they did make it available right through the gate that you can actually put on fenders, so it is fender ready. You can see it has mounting points, see that little rubber grommet right there. You can actually throw on fenders on this bike. But if you guys are to put on fenders on this bike, the biggest tire you can run with the fenders is a 700 by 40C tire, so keep that in mind. So if you do get a fender set on here for some muddy gravel riding, you will have to swap out the tires right away, so keep that in mind. You do also have some extra storage up here if you want to add a bento box. You have these little storage here for like nutrition, tools, and stuff like that. You have extra storage points right here for the water bottle cages, here and here. And I think you even have one on the bottom as well for an extra hydration cage right there as well. But the bike looks mean, dude. Like that's the one thing, that's the one cool thing about the Addict, is just the fork on here. I love the aggressiveness, how it sticks out. It looks really badass. Okay, so we are going to go into here and get into it. The main differences between the old Addict and the new Addict is that this one is integrated cables on here, and you can see the wheel base is much more longer as well. The front fork is much more elongated. So, and probably tire clearance. You can probably get away with a wider tire on there. My buddy of mine had the old Scott Addict Gravel in the baby blue, and he said with a 45C tire in there, it was rubbing. So they changed it a little bit. This carbon is an HMF carbon. So this is their mid-level tier carbon. They do make this Scott Addict Gravel in an HMX carbon, which is like their top line carbon, but it only comes available on their $12,000 gravel frame. So everything else up to that, the Addict 10, the Addict 20, the Addict 30, gravels, they're all HMF. So you're all gonna get the same HMF carbon all the way through. But without further ado, let me walk through the components. Starting off with the top, we have here the Synchros alloy bars. They're a gravel bar setup, so you can see you have a little bit more of a wide flare out to give you a little bit more stability. They come equipped with Scott Synchros tape, and then for the group set you're getting on here is the SRAM Rival Axis XPLR set. So you have a wider gear range in the back. 12 gears in the rear, 1 in the front. These are wireless shifters, and they are hydraulic for the disc brakes as well. We have on here the new Synchros stem to accommodate the cables which run underneath this bar and go underneath the stem right here. Very similar to the actual Tarmac SL7 stem. You can see it even has a little cover plate. Let me see if this focuses in real quick. It has a little cover plate to house the cables, which I put on there, which is really easy to do. but then the cables are ran underneath that go right there, and then the stem in the front. This is called the Creston 2.0, and it is an alloy bar. But very easy to run, very easy to do if you want to drop spacers, very easy to change out the stem. It's very simple, so if you wanted to make changes to this thing, you're able to do so on the fly, and it's not difficult for you to do. Another thing with Scott Synchros is that they always use a T25 for the tools. They always use a T25 for the tools, so it's not a normal 4mm Allen key. And if you guys are assembling this at a shop or whatever, make sure right here it says no gap. Make sure you tighten these 2 bolts up first before you do anything. And this is like a little rubber stop, I guess, to give the a little bit more grip. So this is something cool that I like from Scott. Because it's gravel, they're knowing that you're gonna hit more bumps on here. This has like a little rubber elastomer piece that goes inside of the stem cap that when you clamp it down, it gives a little bit more grip. So if you are to hit a bump or a drop or something like that, it's not gonna slide on you. But very cool. We have the top end of the fork, or the head tube of the fork. Love the minimalistic. There's nothing there except for a little simple Scott logo. It looks clean as all hell, looks mean. And then right here, it's like a raw carbon in a bronze color, like a carbon bronze, and fades like a purple sparkle color. The fork looks mean. You have the fender mounts right here. And then for the wheels you're getting on here, it's these Synchros. I want to say these are the Synchros. I think these are like the GX something. It's a gravel wheel set by Synchros. I don't know the exact brand, but they give you all the spoke tension here. Just basically like a base model wheel. A little bit wider wheel, internal width for gravel tires. A little bit wider external width as well for gravel tires. The rims are tubeless ready, and the tires are tubeless ready. So this is, because it's a gravel bike, they go ahead and put on Schwalbe G1 Byte tires, 700 by 45C tires, and they are tubeless ready tires. You can see here you have a pretty aggressive bite on the side of the tires to give you that extra traction, and it's pretty smooth on the side as well. But I do like the tan sidewalls with the purple. I think it looks really mean, looks really, really good. Rotors on here are going to be a 160mm rotor, SRAM rival axis rotors. You have the SRAM rival calipers as well, and then you have the through axle that goes through the front of the wheel. Going down to the down tube, you have this Scott logo, which looks super clean on the top tube. And again, the top tube is a full kind of gloss carbon on here. And then you have the Addict gravel logo right here with the options for the bento box, which I think Synchros or Scott will sell an add-on for this if you want to add for nutrition and stuff like that. But the down tube, you got this innovative technology right there. You have the Scott logo on the bottom. And then we go back over to this side. We are met with a SRAM rival crank. Now on these gravel bikes, to accommodate these wide tires, the cranksets on all these SRAM cranks are now a SRAM wide spindle. So keep that in mind. If you guys are changing out cranks or looking for that, you need a wide spindle to fit this bike. The bottom bracket on here is a BB86, and it's a press fit in as well. You can run a 1x or 2x setup on this bike. They have the braze on adapter right there. You can also get a chain guide if you want to. You can add a chain guide, which they sell separately for this thing. You get a SRAM 42 tooth chainring on here. On the large, it is a 172.5 crank arm spindle. You can see we have a bunch of little rubber pieces right here, just in case you get a chain drop on here as well. SRAM rival chain, flat top, and then in the back we have a SRAM rival XPLR cassette. It is a 1042 tooth cassette. Then we have a SRAM rival rear derailleur with the XPLR. Again, what this means, it just gives it a little bit longer of a derailleur cage to allow this gear range to happen. You can't run a normal SRAM rival cassette. You can't run, a normal SRAM rival derailleur with this cassette. You need to have the XPLR derailleur on here for those gravel builds to accommodate. Same tires before. Same tires before as a G1 700 by 45C, and it is tubeless ready. So yeah, sorry about that, guys. So like I was saying, the tires are the exact same as the front. The hub on here is their own Scott Synchros hub as well. If you guys want a little preview to a free body sound check, just a regular stock hub in there, nothing crazy. But we can see here we have the much larger rear stays for the seat stays. We have a little bit of a dip down as well. We have the little Scott logo right here, and also for the chain stays as well, it's a little bit lighter. That right there will be the fender mounting point there. You have fender mounting points right here as well on the sides, but the bike is dialed in for some gravel riding. Also on the back, we have here the through axle for the rear wheel. And like I've always said about Scott, which I love, this little piece right here, this little handle, this can actually come out and you can move this to the front to take off the front wheel. This also doubles as a T25. So if you get in an accident, you need to take off a water bottle cage or something, this can actually be a tool to go ahead and tighten up the water bottle cage, to loosen your stem or straighten out your handlebars, just in case you were to take a spill on the trail. You have a little tool right here, which is really nice. Rotor for the rear is going to be a 160 millimeter rotor in the back as well. And then we have our SRAM Rival flat mount disc brake too here as well. But other than that, the bike is phenomenal. Seat post is our own Scott Synchros proprietary. It looks like a D-shaped post, but just a carbon fiber seat post with their integrated seat post wedge. Just a 3 millimeter Allen key right there to adjust it. Nice up and down. And then you have the Tofino in the brown color saddle. Chromoly rails, nice wide cutout, but very comfortable saddle. They're known for having this little hammock right here, so it's going to give a little bit of give while riding. So that way it can help with the bumps on here. But the bike is beautiful. You can see right there the TLE. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for the video, guys. Let me know what you think. This is, again, the 2022 Scott Addict Gravel Model 20 in a size large. Weighed right in around 20 pounds. And this thing retails for $4,500. Scott killed it with this bike. I think this is a great price point. It's phenomenal. So very happy with it. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Free up body sound test on this Scott Addict Gravel 20. Here comes the Scott Synchros rear wheel as well. Just a regular stock 3-paw free up body sound system. Looks good. A stock wheel set. All you need to do with this bike is upgrade to a gravel wheel set. You're good to go. Thank you guys.